following is a presentation of TFNN. Now, the author of Mastering Probability, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, all you wonderful money masters and treasure hunters. Welcome to the May 9th terrific Thursday edition of today's Opening Bell on the Trader's Edge. I'm your host, Steve Rhodes, and I absolutely treasure your presence here today, folks. My outcome, as always, is to help you to become a better money master and to provide you with tools that, well, just simply tools that each of us need in order to lead an inspired life, because leading an inspired life, that is what it's all about. So let's go look at one of our tools. This is the tool. I love this tool. This is the tool. Well, really, this was once a tool that was fashioned after Henry Ford. He once said, whether you think you can or not, you are right. Think about that. Whether you think you can or not, you are right. You know, Seneca once said, a good mind is lord of a kingdom. Something to think about. Each of us, folks, each of us was born to achieve. If that was the first thought that you had every day, every single day when you woke, that you understood that you were born to achieve, how would that change your life? Suppose we really believe that we're all children and heirs of this magnificent universe. You know, whether you think you can or not, you are right. An experiment was done, folks, years ago, and this experiment was done with training hopping fleas. True story, hopping fleas. These hopping fleas, they were placed into a mason jar. They would do what was natural for a while, and that was hop. Of course, they would bump their heads at the top of that mason jar. And after a period of time, you could actually take the top off of the jar. You could remove that top, and the fleas would go no higher than where that invisible lid or that real lid once was. Now it's an invisible lid. Now, just like the hopping fleas, our self-made limitations, well, they can sometimes cause us to forget that we can fly with the freedom of thought. Oftentimes, we needlessly confine ourselves to glass jars. Our invisible prisons, well, they remind us from time to time, you know, you can't do this, or it isn't practical, or you're not smart enough, or it costs too much. You know what I say all that is? All of that is nothing more than BS before Steve. Because the truth is, folks, you can do amazing things. Just remove that lid from your jar. Life is not chance. Life is choice. We can and we are builders of our life. We choose our thoughts and we establish our rituals. Our attitudes, they determine our direction. Through the power of our mind, we experience what it is that we focus on. Henry Ford had it right. Whether we think we can or not, we are right. And I think you can. Let's go check out the markets. What are they going to do out here? Right now, we've got the Dow futures off about 8 points. That means they opened down about 5. No big deal out there. S&P futures off 1.5. They're traveling out at 16.27. NASDAQ futures off 7 points, trading at 29.55. We've got gold off $10, silver down 10 pennies, light sweet crude off 55 cents. Quick look across the pond in Asia was all red last night. Not by anything huge. 0.6% over in the Nikkei, no big deal. Down 94 points. The Shanghai was off 14 points. The Hang Seng off 32. No big shakes over there. The DAX is off 3 points right now, and the FTSE is basically flat. If we start taking a look at the NASDAQ futures, let's take a look in at the NQ at the 30-minute chart that we've got on the screen here. Right now, what we can see as we were coming onto the air at 9 a.m. this morning, we take a look at the NASDAQ futures moving down into that lower portion, that oversold territory of the relative strength or relative weakness index out here. Right now, the bulls are just punching in for work. We'll see if they can push it up. We were looking yesterday at that 17-point sideways consolidation move. We knew that a break in either direction was going to be approximately 17 points. The projection, 29.71. As the NASDAQ future broke topside yesterday, they did that while we were on the air. That was at 10:30. They actually got up to a high here coming into the not 11:30, 9:30 last night, made a high out there of 29.6750. So, really about 4 points away. I think what we'll see today is they'll go ahead and make a run for that 29.71. We've just seen the low that was put in here. That was that intra-session low. Now, you see, got to work its way off. So it's either going to work its way off, and the bulls will show up for work, and they'll try to push this thing up into that 29.71 level, or it's just going to work its way off, and we'll see the bears really try to break this rising price channel. Now, this is a rising price channel going back into the time period of April the 18th out there. And you can see that the NASDAQ NQ has done a beautiful job of traveling with inside it. You would have preferred to have seen a move all the way down to the bottom of that trend line, as well as it was getting in that oversold territory. That would have been a nicer thing, but sometimes the markets, well, not sometimes, all the time, the market is going to do whatever it wants to do. Let's go to our first caller. Let's go to Tom from down the road here in Tampa. Tom wants to take a look at the euro. Tom, thanks for calling. Thanks for holding. How you doing this morning?
Hey, great moments are born from great opportunity, brother. How's it going?
I love it. What a great speech that wouldn't you have loved to have been in that locker room?
Later, right?
Yeah. I mean, it is absolutely one of my favorite speeches out there. And for me, I remember watching that game live. I grew up in Detroit. Wasn't broadcast live on the U.S. stations, but at that stage, I was living really right off of the Detroit River, and so we were able to pick up the Canadian station that was playing that game. And what I would have loved to have been in the locker room to hear that inspirational speech. Oh man!
Yeah.
You want to take a look at the Euro? So tell us what you're doing and how we can help.
Nothing. I'm just on the sidelines with it right now. And the Tuesday you had mentioned, Steve, it looks like, is this thing trying to build like a higher bottom, get into that 133 area, you think?
It might. There was a really good trading opportunity that came about yesterday, and that opportunity came when it actually formed the .786 Gartley sell pattern. It looked like at first it was going to – at first it actually did form a .618 Gartley sell pattern. That failed, and what's great about these Gartley patterns is that when the 618 fails, your stop needs to be right above that .786 level. And if that's too much of a stop to enter a position, then you just don't take the trade out here. And so we got a nice .786 Gartley. It also made, if you're watching on TigerTV, folks, what you're seeing is this little blue shaded chart. If you're just listening in on the radio or your mobile device at tfn.mobi, go to the homepage at tfn.com. On the right-hand side, you'll see a button where you'll see a smartphone device. This show will stream live. And what we're taking a look at is a Gartley pattern is going to have an A to B equals CD, up or down. In this case here, all you're trying to do is you're trying to just simply sell into a lower high. That was at one of the Fibonacci numbers, and that's in this case here was .786. Also made this about a little bit over 1.272 expansion of your B to C swing point. So it was a real nice opportunity. You didn't actually get the signal in this case here to take the short, in my opinion, until 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And that's when that bar went ahead and closed below. And the bar I'm referring to at 1 o'clock, we're looking at a 30-minute chart, was when it closed out at 1.3174. As long as it got below the open of that green bar that formed, that 11:30, that green bar, Tom, that formed that .786, to me that was because when price just travels with inside the body of a session as you're making a pattern, to me that's not enough information to go ahead and take either a long or a short position. I like to get what's called a second opinion out there, and it's like when your money's on the line, if your health's on the line, you should get a second opinion. I think when your money's on the line, you get a second opinion. That second opinion comes from the charts, and it just simply comes from a little bit of patience out here. Now, what the euro has done, it's made that dead cat bounce. It's made it all the way. But now I'm looking at I'm actually looking at the futures contract here, and if we take a look at that, this is the June futures contract for the euro, and if we take a look at the first area that it was supposed to hit was that .382, that dead cat bounce area, 1.3136. It hit that. We're trading at it right now. I think this has a little bit lower to go. We can see on that. The other thing yesterday, Tom, is on the 30-minute chart. If you were taking a look at the relative strength index, if you had that indicator up on your screen, you could see was also getting into extreme overbought condition, as well as going against that big, huge waterfall downdraft that took place at 9 o'clock. That was the Jobs Friday move down. So it was going up against some pretty significant resistance. So I think we'll see the euro move down into that 1.3097 area. And that was a nice trade setup. I know you'd also trade this on really more of an intraday chart. But to answer your question specifically about the daily, let's go take a look at the daily and see what it is doing out here. And on the daily chart, it still is in this little rising price channel. So this little bugger doesn't want to give it up totally. And it's just a small rising price channel that comes off of the March 28th low out there. And, you know, we see it try to pierce through here, but almost each time, with the exception of really the trading session from May 7th, it's been able to hold that area. So I think we'll find out today, because we've got a nice 0.786 Gartley. The full extension of any Gartley pattern is that it actually turns into a new A to B equals CD down. But I suspect right now that the euro is going to be held, as it moves into this trend line area out here. And so the answer to your question, yes, this is starting to make, higher lows and higher highs out here. And yes, that says 1.3341 could in fact be its target area.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
But it offers a lot of great intraday trading opportunities out there, and I say just focus on the have the daily chart up most certainly, but go ahead and put that 30-minute chart on the screen and watch those patterns as they unfold here.
Okay.
All righty.
Great. Appreciate it, Steve.
Hey, you bet. Take care. Thanks so much for calling. When we get back, folks, we're going to go take a look at some of these stocks here that are popping and dropping in the market. Tesla Motors, they're the leader in the clubhouse. They closed at $55.79. They're trading out at $69. There's a nice move there. To the downside, it's Rack Space Holding. They closed at $52. They're getting a haircut. Last trade fired off at 41. We'll be right back.
Who says you can't take it with you? TFNN says you can. With your mobile device and TFNN's live radio streams, TFNN has put it all in the palm of your hands. No special apps to download. No subscription fees for live radio or TigerTV streams. We say you can.
Now let's go over to the dollar, because the dollar is going to be the generator. It is the generator of basically higher dollar, lower market. And what the dollar has done, and this whole uptrend, folks, has just gone sideways. The way it works, folks, is this.
We say you can. The Tiger Financial News Network. Smart investors and professional traders know you can. TFNN.com. Educating investors. With the launch of Tiger TV, TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With Tiger TV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, David White, Larry Pizzamento, Andy Hecht, Victor Jones, or Daryl Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out Tiger TV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
McEwen Mining is a high-growth, mid-tier producer in the Americas with a market capitalization of $1 billion. Experienced mining executive Rob McEwen, as chairman, CEO, and president, owns 25% of the outstanding shares of McEwen Mining and has put in place an ambitious business plan with the goal of qualifying for inclusion in the S&P 500 by 2015. With $70 million in cash and liquid assets as of the end of 2012 and completely debt-free, McEwen Mining is poised for growth. Production in 2013 is forecasted to grow at 24%, reaching 130,000 gold equivalent ounces, and over the next 3 years, McEwen Mining projects that their production will increase to 290,000 gold equivalent ounces, almost a threefold increase from last year's totals. If you'd like to find out more about McEwen Mining, click on their banner on the front page of TFNN.com or check them out on the NYSE or TSX under the symbol MUX.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to tfnn.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Steve takes your phone calls now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Welcome back, folks. Really flat market here right now. Well, sort of flat out here. Gold is back $14 right now, off about a full percentage point, and silver down 19 cents. It is really going to be all about, I think, one chart here to pay attention to. We were talking about the NASDAQ futures earlier as we were kicking the show off here. And if we put the daily chart up on the screen, well, we can see that has formed here. You know, I was talking with Tom about on the euro, the 0.786 Gartley patterns out here. Now, when it comes to a Gartley pattern, so if you're trading them, first thing, it needs to have an A to B equals CD. And it's in this case here, we're taking a look at what turned out to be a Gartley sell pattern. That was after a move down inside the NASDAQ futures off of the September 21st high out there, 28.71.75, makes its first leg down on November, all the way down to November 16th. So let's assume that you had a bearish outcome for the market. You never got in on that move, and what you were trying to do was to find a place to enter a short position in the market. Well, the best place, if you're going to trade the Gartley patterns, which have a high probability of winning, look, when they win or lose or when they work, it gives you a ton of information. As I was mentioning to Tom, when the 0.618 Gartley fails, tells you that it's going to go up to the 0.786 level. That's why your stop needs to be on the other side of that 0.786. If that doesn't fit into your trading plan, maybe your reward to risk out there as far as what you're looking at, then just simply don't take the trade. Now, when we take a look at this, inside the NASDAQ futures, it formed a 0.786 Gartley sell. Now, it had that A to B equals CD. Your A point was November 16th low. Your B point was the high on December the 19th out at 27.13.75. And your C point was that December 31st low down at 25.80 out there. So it formed the A to B equals CD. Here, let me draw it in on the chart just so that you can actually see it, and then we'll go ahead and delete that. So your A to B equals CD comes in right up here, right at the March 5th high as it makes that high. There, so we've got the A to B equals CD. And for that entire period from March 5th all the way up until the time period of April the 10th, so nearly a month, what the NASDAQ futures did was they just simply traded sideways. Then, when a 0.786 Gartley fails, not only does it do a 100% move of a move, that means go all the way back to where the starting point was of this race, which was September 21st. It's when a 0.786 Gartley fails, it turns into a butterfly more often than not. Well, that first version of the butterfly is what has or is completing here right now. That price projection right around the 29.75 level, intraday, intranight, we saw the high of 29.67 get hit on that shorter-term chart. We took a look at the 30-minute. The price projection on the 30-minute is right around 29.71. So you can see we're very close to completing that pattern. Now, just because a 1.272 butterfly sell pattern, and that's what this is right here. Just because that completes doesn't mean that you go ahead and hop in right then and there. Like those hopping fleas, you don't hop in right then and there. You wait for some type of candle signal. If the bears are out, they're going to give you a signal. They're going to give you a bearish engulfing, a shooting star. They will give you some an evening star pattern that will give you some type of signal out there. And what's nice about a butterfly pattern, it's an extension. Now, as we take a look at the NASDAQ futures here, what you're taking a look at yesterday, as price moved up into that 29.65 level, what we saw it get into the overbought territory. It has not been up at those levels. On the RSI indicator, you're looking at about 69. And if you take a look at the last time it had a 69 level was, in essence, as it was right up there at that September 21st area. So it's reason to pause. Now, if this area here fails, 29.75-ish, because we're not going to be right to the point, what will happen is this will turn into a larger butterfly, and that butterfly expansion will take you all the way up to 31.06. And when you talk about butterflies or Gartley patterns out here, folks, there is nothing better. If time is important to you, then what you need to do right now at this time is go over to the homepage of TFNN.com and sign up and test drive the art of the chart software. Because when it comes to, what this tool has is so many great things. But one of the best things is being able, I've got it on my screen here right now, is being able to come up here, hit this button. This button right here allows you to go ahead and download all of the Gartley patterns that are out there. In one click of a button, I'm going to do it right now, hit that download Gartley list. Here are all the potential either patterns, Gartley patterns, they could be butterflies, they could be Gartleys out here that have set up. In one click of a button, you can start analyzing the different charts out there. You want to talk about a time saver, you want to talk about a pattern that has a high probability for success out there, well, it is the Gartley pattern. So go over to the homepage at TFNN.com and test it now. Test it now, folks. And we've got the Tiger Dollar promotion going on. Here's one. Advanced Auto Parts getting very close to forming a 1.272 butterfly out here. 877-927-6648. We'll be right back.
In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, gives you Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. With Market Insights, nothing is left to guessing. With the market at record levels, volatility is here, and now is a perfect time to take advantage of a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights. As recently as March 26th, Tom advised his subscribers to liquidate their 4 short-term equity holdings, closing out all 4 positions for a combined 15.9% profit. And on April 1st, Tom advised his clients to sell their longer-term position in AIG warrants, locking in more than a 40% profit in just that one trade. If you'd like to see the kind of newsletter Tom O'Brien sends out to his subscribers each morning, then sign up for your 2-week free trial to Market Insights today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN is excited to launch our brand new software charting program, The Art of the Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind software, Art of the Charts allows you to scan for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, butterflies, ABCs, and much more. Art of the Charts is designed to help you when scouring the market for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, and even months searching to find. As part of our introductory pricing, we're offering licenses available at only $59 per month. We're so confident that you'll love this new outstanding piece of charting software that we'll even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Lock in your low price today by ordering your copy at TFNN.com. Daryl Martin coined the phrase diagnostic trading, and we're happy to announce that his diagnostic box spread analyzer has finally been released. The Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer helps you easily identify the best box spreads on Nadex in seconds, plus you receive access to the diagnostic deviation levels, as well as step-by-step training videos teaching you how to trade Nadex spreads so you can quickly master the mechanics of this simple yet powerful trading instrument. By pulling live data from the Nadex exchange, the Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer does all the math for you, calculating risk, reward potential, distance to break even for both outright spreads and spreads used to hedge the underlying market. Visit the front page of TFNN.com today to get your 2-week free trial to Daryl Martin's Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer and gain access to the valuable information it can provide when trading the Nadex box spreads.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And we're off to the races. We got the Dow off 11 points, trading out at 15,095. S&P down a point, trading at 1631. Composite off a point and a half, trading at 3411. The Russell 2000 down 80 cents, trading at 969. We've got Google down 30 cents, Apple up 10 pennies out here. Those two stocks are not the leaders in the clubhouse. Leader in the clubhouse, Tesla Motors up 20% here right now, gapping up, doing it with some volume out here. Tesla, TSLA is the ticker symbol, out with numbers last night. They reported revenues of $560 million versus $30 million from the prior year. A net income of $15 million versus $79 million, and it is a little rocket ship out here, so it has gapped up. If we take a look at volume, we'll peek in on this chart. It's certainly at all-time highs out here. So far, 2.2 million shares in this equity. It most recently had a swing point high 2 sessions ago with 9.9 million shares out there. So Tesla Motors in a new space. And, you know, of course, they are the guys that are now traveling up to the space station out there. We take a look at a little longer-term chart out here. Let's see what patterns, if any, have completed. Well, really no pattern that you could see, in my opinion, that you could see out here. No A to B equals CD pattern, most certainly on the weekly chart. As we look at the weekly chart here, let me just refresh this. You've got a big, looks like a big gap out here. Maybe make sure. That big gap here is from March the 29th. Big volume down there on the week of April the 5th. The low is 40.21. If this thing ever does fall out of bed, look out below. That's where price would travel to. So Tesla Motors. Now, I think what's cool is, you know, in my opinion, you want to, if what we want to do is put a lot of folks back to work, you need to have a new. Well, it's got to be. It's in the energy area, in my opinion, and that could be just simply creating new industries, and that's what an electric car most certainly could do out there. So good to see them have positive results like this. Good growth from the revenue standpoint. Good growth from the net income standpoint. That is Tesla Motors. Also popping to the upside, we've got Green Mountain Coffee Roasters. GMCR is the ticker symbol. Let's go take a look at it. This also moving up with some volume behind it. Let's go see what it is traveling into. It's traveling, it's above this thing has been amazing as it's made its way back up to the level here that it's trading at, 69.79, because this thing most certainly had some big trouble. It came off of a high in September of 2011 out at $116, moved its way all the way down to $17 and change back in the early part of July last year. This has, let's see, if we take a look at what it really is going against here right now, the only thing it's going against is this little downdraft out here. It's a daily chart from October the 20th, and that's got 24 million shares to the downside. It really started to break apart. This thing really broke apart back here in October of 2011, right around the price highs in the $95 range. It's got some good volume in it here this morning. So far, 3.4 million shares, so it's got some decent volume. This thing really had its first sign of strength, came in right here on August the 2nd, 2012, when there were 34 million shares off of the bottom. If we take a look at that gap here never getting filled. Let's see if it was even tested. Never even got tested. Price never got down to at least test the bottom of the August 2nd candle. Just simply consolidate. You saw a couple other signs of strength out here. Those signs of strength most certainly did get tested. I'm referring back to September 7th and September the 10th of 2012, up with 22 million shares and then 11 million shares. Another sign of strength coming in on this equity back in November of 2012, November 28th, another 29 million shares to the upside. So this thing is, it's, and you can see it's truly in the overbought territory out here. Where would this thing pull back to if, in fact, it pulled back? Well, if we just take a look at, let's assume that today, just for our purposes right now, ends up being a high and decides to go ahead and pull back. Well, your first place that it would pull back to is today's gap that it has left out there. But the 0.618 area is 37.48. That would be a normal pullback, and that would be coming back into the November 28, 2012 time frame, which was the breakout prior to what it is that we see today. That is on Green Mountain Coffee Roasters. Let's go take a look at what's getting roasted in the marketplace, and that is Rackspace. Rackspace here, oh my goodness, this thing was a high flyer. This was an IBD stock out here, and if we take a look at it so far this morning, gapping down, doing it with volume, 2.2 million shares. It's always important to be paying attention to volume out here. If we take a look at Rackspace, made a high. I was unsubstantiated by the move back here, January 24th, 2013. That high was 81.36. You're already down. You've already been cut in half in less than in about 4 months' time. So in 4 months' time, this thing has gone from 81.36 to $40. Now, is that a reason to use stops? Yeah, I would say it's a reason to use stops here and to be paying attention to volume and other patterns out here. The real volume came out of this equity on February 13th. This thing gapped down all the way down to the 65 to 59 level. Did it with volume, 15 million shares. For those that didn't get out, that's really too bad because that was an opportunity to either take whatever profits you had left or just simply recoup your capital, because now those folks just simply are going to ride this thing even down even further, I should say. And where's this going? Well, all we have to do is go back to the left-hand side of the chart, take a look at the big high-volume spike out there. That takes you to September 30th, 2010, and that's anywhere in the $25 to $26 level. It's at $40 right now. Looks like that is where Rackspace, and this is a huge A to B equals CD. Your B point on this is going to be your April 19th swing point, 1.5 million shares out there. That's the larger A to B equals CD. Of course, that thing is going to just take it all the way down to zero, I think, if we take a look at that A to B equals CD. Let's take a look and see what that actually moves down to. No, not zero, $14. So $14.63 happens to be the one-to-one A to B equals CD, and that is on Rackspace out there. So that is a stock that is dead in the water. Let's see, moving to the upside here, you've got OrthoFix, OFIX. It's a ticker symbol. They're off 17% this morning. They reported revenues of $562 million versus $30 million last year. Holy cow. What do they do here? Net income, $11 million versus a loss of $79 million the prior year. So these guys truly beating numbers all over the place. What in the heck happened with their... No, that was Tesla. That was Tesla. Sorry about that. I don't know why it didn't change on my screen. Now let's go back to what they actually did here. These guys, OrthoFix, they actually did net sales of $100 million versus $116. That's more like it. And net income of $2 million versus $12 million. Now, that makes sense out there. Let's go take a look at this equity. Let's go see where this is going to trade down into. OFIX out there. I just had to fix my eyes and be paying attention to the right news feed out here. Gapping down with volume so far in the first 12 minutes of trading. This has done 229,000 shares to the downside, so we're going to see not the most liquid of stocks out here. Today, breaking an area of swing points out here. Well, this thing had a little sign of strength, taking you back. It was an open gap, taking you back into the July 30th time frame. Let me just spread this out a bit here. Let's see, where is that gap? Here, right here. Here's where it broke out on July 30th, 2009. So this thing is already back into 2009. That level it broke out volume-wise was only 733,000 shares. The top of the gap, meaning the candle prior to where it broke out of July 30th, 2009, that was at 25.04. Right now, this thing is trading out at 26.93 out here, and it's doing it with volume. So this thing here, if we take a look at A to B equals CD down patterns, let's see if it took out a B point. The B point would be November 15th. That had 241,000 shares out there. Let's just draw a line across the sand here. Actually, draw a line across the volume bars and take a look and see if volume passed that area. It most certainly, let's see here, right here. You push down into it with big volume on February 22nd out there. And never crossed the B point with, I take that back. It never really crossed the B point, but it did with volume, but it did get accelerated volume here back on April the 24th. Nonetheless, an A to B equals CD on this thing. It's surpassed the 1-to-1. It's already done, well, it's closer to the 1 to 1.618. A to B equals CD, but this thing's got some good volume to the downside. Do not get in front of, what is this, OrthoFix International. Let's see, to the upside, Precision Cast Parts. They are the leader now in the clubhouse. And speaking of leaders in the clubhouse, it is PGA Thursday, the start of the Players' Championship up at the TPC in Sawgrass. What a fantastic course, folks. If you're a golfer and you have not played that course, you really should put that on your bucket list. What a great course to play. And, of course, number 17, the island hole, just a wonderful short hole, but it's a hole that will make, your butt parts pucker, especially if you have a lead up there. Only 135 yards, really, is what the players from the pros play from the back tee. So it's, it's pitching wedges, 9 irons out there, but that hole can you can say don't hit the water. And the thing is that, what you focus on, that's what you end up doing. So your swing shot, your swing thought should not be don't hit it in the water. Because if you do that, more often than not, what you're going to do is hit it in the water. So have a swing thought that says, punch it onto the center of the green up there. Step up there with confidence. Talk about confidence. We've got Precision Cast Parts out here. It is gapping up this morning. Right now, you got really wide price spread out here. Closed out yesterday at 192.02. It's trading at 209. Yesterday's volume was 508,000 shares. Today, 267,000 shares in 15 minutes of trading. So Precision Cast Parts at all-time highs out here. Let's take a look at a longer-term chart. Let's put this on a weekly. Pull this back. Yep. This thing is a little rocket ship. The A to B equals CD on this. Let's go take a look at this. Would be coming off of the 09 lows out here. That low being 47.71 the week of March 6, 2009. That's your A point. Your B point is the high on April 30th, 2010, about a .382 retracement. Precision Cast Parts on its way. Well, it's already going to hit that 1.272 A to B equals CD. That would be 212.76 or so. So far intraday, it's been up to 210.54. Looks like this has more like 243 written on it, and that is Precision Cast Parts, PCP out there. We've got Barnes & Noble. Barnes & Noble, how'd this happen? They're up 21% here this morning. What is going on behind Barnes & Noble? I see, nobody buying them out. I thought the brick-and-mortar bookstores were toast, were done out here. Apparently not. Let's go check out the stock chart, though. Let's go see what it actually is doing. KS. Boy, folks, wouldn't you think if you were going out there, you were taking your company public, and I don't care if it's called Barnes & Noble, that you would maybe try to get some other ticker symbol other than BK? Just think about it. Maybe eventually, what you focus on grows. Who wants to be talking about BK all of the time? Well, right now we're taking a look at Barnes & Noble. It's gapping up, doing it with some volume, 4 million shares, so big volume behind this move. And I don't see anything behind like they're being bought out by somebody or anything like it, other than the fact they're opening up a new store here in Indiana, in Indianapolis. That can't be what's behind the move out there. Maybe somebody in the den can help me out. Maybe I'm not picking up a news feed. Of course, this stock here, off of its highs, this is the brick and mortar entity, 42.74 out there. I like Barnes & Noble, nothing against them. It's just in today's technology world out there, it's kind of a tough thing. This thing traded up at the 42 level back in May of 2007 and made its way all the way down to $8.45 out here. So Barnes & Noble, had a nice sign of a strength out here. I think this was as a result of a merger that they were originally talking about back in April of 2012, came all the way back into that breakout area, and it did that back in the August 2012 time frame, tested that breakout area, and just proceeded to move higher. So it's got some nice volume in it this morning for sure, 4.2 million shares. I'm not so sure that fundamentally I would be on board inside this equity out here. BKS, renewed push on tablet and trying to do deal to put Google Store on the tablet. Well, thanks, Reed. I appreciate that. I still don't necessarily see it necessarily out here in Barnes & Noble. Let's go take a look at C-Trip, though, ctrip.com. C-Trip, let's see, what do these guys do out here? I should know, because I've owned this a couple of times. C-Trip, together with its subsidiaries, provide travel service for hotel accommodations, airline tickets, package tours. So let's go take a look and see how this thing has taken off this morning. CTRP is the ticker symbol, gapping up. Looks like it's got some good volume behind the move out here. C-Trip. So far today, looks like this is going to head into the area where it had last gapped down, which was November 14th, 2011. Breaks down with 18 million shares. Let's take a look at the volume today on the way up here. This is looks like confirming an A to B equals CD up. Already 3.5 million shares. On C-Trip, you're taking a look at an A point out here that would take you back into the lows of July 2012. That price is $12.36. That's your A point, your B point. January 18th out at $24.86, and a C point as it makes a way back down to January 29th low, 1962. 1-to-1, A to B equals CD, 31.49. 877-927-6648. We'll be right back, folks.
You've always taken the long view when it comes to investing, but what if there's an opportunity right under your nose? What if you could be more responsive to market trends to seek to boost your portfolio performance right now while seeking to reduce your overall risk? At Direction Funds, we connect investors with alternative strategies that seek to maximize their returns. Smart investors deserve smart alternatives. Find yours at directionfunds.com. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risk charges, and expenses of Direction Funds carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Funds. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact the Direction Funds at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. Investing in index funds may be more volatile than investing in broadly diversified funds. Distributed by Rafferty Capital Markets, LLC. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Recently, Basil Chapman has had some outstanding trades in his newsletter, The Opening Call. Each morning by 9 a.m., Basil uploads his newsletter to the TFNN servers so that his subscribers can access his expert trading advice. Basil gives his take on the direction of key indices and updates any active trades that his subscribers are currently in. Just recently, Basil's subscribers closed out a short position in Chipotle Mexican Grill, CMG, for more than an $86 profit per share, over a 20% gain in just one position. If you'd like to try out Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, then visit the front page at TFNN.com and click Trading Newsletters. There you'll find Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, where you can request a free sample copy. Also, don't miss Basil's program, The Tiger Technicians Hour, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, on TFNN.
Tom O'Brien's weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, has helped subscribers for over 10 years navigate the high-risk world of exploring and producing gold companies. And now's a great time to sign up for a free month-long trial to see the kind of insight that Tom delivers for his subscribers on a weekly basis. Every Monday, Tom O'Brien issues a quick update on the metal market, giving you his take on the HUI, XAU, GLD, dollar, bonds, and much more. Tom follows Monday's update with a full gold report, which is delivered to subscribers Tuesday afternoon with detailed coverage of 24 separate gold or metal stocks, as well as another 10 to 15 stocks that he lets you know are on his potential watch list. Get your month-long free trial to the Gold Report today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Don't spend another year navigating the metal markets on your own. Act early in 2013 and make the most of your gold and metal market investments.
Catch the Money Masters as they teach you the art of mastering money when it comes to trading and investing. Next on TFNN.
Welcome back, folks. Really flat market out here. Dow's up 5, S&P's off 1, Composites down 2, Russell 2000. The weak link here, but only down $1.50 right now. And thanks to all those folks in the den, Barnes & Noble, apparently some Microsoft rumors out there about, the tablet and what they might do. And so it's up nicely, up 20% out there, but I'm not buying into it. Other equities here popping, SodaStream International, that's up 6% here this morning. To the downside, we've got the Live Person. Live Person looks to be dead here this morning, off 36%, down $4.50. Before the, I think it was going in the first or second break out there, was talking about the art of the chart. And, folks, if you didn't get a chance to go to last night's workshop out here, David's got, David White, Tom, they've got a number of videos on the homepage of TFNN.com. You really want to go over there and really check this out. If you are just starting, you're trying to figure out, what charting software package should I use? You hear me talk about Gartley, Butterfly Patterns, David, obviously Larry, Tom, the whole crew. Great patterns to learn how to trade. And maybe you're trying to say, I don't completely get it. Well, this does it all for you. This is kind of like set it and forget it. And what it really does is the power of, forget about the fantastic charting tool it is, which it is. Just simply, what is it that you value most, time or money? Hopefully you value them both, but when it comes to time, money you can make up in a heartbeat, in the snap of your fingers. But time, you never can make up for that. And if you want to be able to save yourself time and you want to be able to understand and take a look at different patterns out there with the click of a finger, truly the click of a finger, you get downloaded an entire list of patterns here that you can take a look at. We had mentioned advanced auto parts, so it looks like that is forming. A 1.272 butterfly pattern out here. Here's ABFS. Let's go take a quick look at this out here, see what kind of pattern this one might be forming. This is Arkansas Best. Well, we took a look at Arkansas Best when that thing had moved up to the moon a while back. So it's got all the different patterns out here, plus it's got so much more than that. Just really trying to, understand the power of a move. Understand the power of a move. When David put together that power law vector indicator where you're being able to measure price and time and be able to understand the power of that, so helpful out here. And if we take a look at the move here in Advanced Auto Parts, this was through yesterday, I believe, that power law of 1.6 on the way up versus 2.1 on the way down, that gives you a ton of information. And what this allows you to do is then go in there and hone in and see which patterns look like they are the best for you. So go to the homepage of TFNN.com, take advantage of this. You can try it. I believe it comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what better time than right now to be able to do that? Plus, you've got the opportunity to take advantage of Tiger Dollars. It's only a couple times a year that at TFNN we do the Tiger Dollar promotion. In this case here, you've got a 20% bonus for any purchase over $500 or more of Tiger Dollars. Plus, you'll have another 5 to 10% donated on your behalf to the One Fund. So help all those folks out in the Boston area dealing with the bombing out there. So it's a great opportunity to be able to truly take advantage, and that is a tool. If you're sitting on the fence and you're trying to figure out what charting package do I start with, how do I learn the techniques, how do I understand A to B equals CD patterns, how do I identify Gartley butterfly patterns out there, well, then this is the actual tool for you. So do yourself a favor, go test it out, go to the homepage of TFNN.com. Our time has come to an end, and you know what that means, folks. That means I get to tell you the truth. And the truth is, you have an amazing power within yourself. That power is so strong, it'll create a life of abundance, cure incurable diseases, build billion-dollar businesses, paint magnificent, flowing, beautiful masterpieces, but most of all, create fantastic, loving families. Thanks so much for being a part of the TFNN family, folks. Have a great morning. Look forward to seeing you soon.
Let me tell you something, folks. I have people coming up to me saying, I just can't believe the amount of work that Steve does on his newsletter. And I says, I absolutely agree.
That is a recent clip from the Money Masters show that Tom and I do each day at TFNN. My newsletter service, Mastering Probability, is much, much more than a newsletter. Yes, it's outperformed the S&P 500 by 100% during the last 15 months. But more importantly, it's an extraordinary education, a roadmap for your success. And it's yours risk-free for the next 30 days. Just go to the homepage of TFNN.com and click on my name, Steve Rhodes, and then Mastering Probability, because everyone needs a success strategy. For most, it's a competitive edge, the will to win, the drive to overcome any obstacle. Whatever you call it, winners find a way. Find your way to Mastering Probability today, because your journey to extraordinary rewards is just one click away.